Alright, after the last video, I know you guys were having so much fun solving, but unfortunately, we have to move on to the next section, which is graphing. Boo. Okay, I actually like this one. So it says to graph the rational function of the form HK stuff, where H is the vertical asymptote and K is the horizontal asymptote. So it says to graph the asymptotes and the hyperbola. So let's do that. H right here, we've talked about this a lot. The number with the x is always going to be opposite. So if this says x minus 2, then our asymptote's going to be at x equals positive 2, if you remember that. So x minus 2, you write down to 2. This plus 3, you just write down to 3. What this means is at the point 2, 3, that's going to be where the two asymptotes meet up, because there's always going to be a vertical and horizontal. So this point right here is going to be 2, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is where our asymptotes are going to meet up. Which I'm kind of drawing before writing, but whatever. Vertical asymptote will be x equals 2. And the horizontal would be y equals 3. Which hopefully makes sense, because an ordered pair is an x and a y, so x equals 2 and y equals 3. Just in case you ever forget, you can use that. From there, domain and range. Technically, you could do these now, because it's going to be everything except the asymptotes, but I'll still graph it first. And it says to plot 2 points and show work. So I'm just going to make a simple XY thing right here. And usually the easiest things to do is to look at this little intersection place I was talking about, and then just do a point exactly 1 to the right of it. So here, the number 3 is exactly 1 over, or the number 1 is exactly 1 over. So I'm probably just going to do 1 and 3 and see what happens. So I'll zoom out again. The equation we're doing is this one. So if you plug in 1, you would get 5 over 1 minus 2 plus 3 equals stuff. And if we plugged in 3, we would have 5 over 3 minus 2 plus 3, which is going to equal stuff. We'll find out. So 5 over 1 minus 2. Well, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So you get negative 5 plus 3, which is negative 2. Here, 3 minus 2 is 1. So you get 5 over 1. But 5 over 1 is just 5. And then 5 plus 3 equals 8. So 1, negative 2, and 3, positive 8. Those will be 2 points we can use, just like that. You can do more points, or you could not, whichever. And here, I'm just gonna not. Woo. There you go. Make sure they go towards the asymptotes. The asymptotes do have to be drawn, not just because the directions say, but because if you don't draw them, you might accidentally pass over them, because these arrows do have to be pointing up and towards the asymptotes, or over and towards the asymptotes. So for domain, you have 2 options. The first is that since the domain is literally everything except 2, because it goes left forever and then towards 2 and then onwards again, you could just write x is not equal to. That is an acceptable answer. Same thing with y. Y is everything except this asymptote right here at 3, so you could write y does not equal 3. Those are both acceptable answers. You could also do interval notation. It goes from negative infinity up until 2. Union starts up again at 2 and then goes to infinity. For range, it would go negative infinity to 3. Then it starts up at 3 and goes to infinity. So negative infinity to 3, union 3 to infinity. Either of those works, either receives full credit. So that's that problem. No calculators. Next up, the other kind. graph the following rational expressions. You must show all the elements of the expression, like all of this crap. You have to graph all of this stuff except for the ones that say none, because then you obviously cannot graph it.